Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. In previous episodes, we have been reminding you guys na kung ikaw ay isa pong permanent resident dito sa Canada, maaari ka pa ring ipa-deport ha. Okay? Depende po yan. If you get convicted of a serious crime na medyo mabigat yung sentensya, yung imprisonment, it could lead to a removal order. Okay, pwede kang ipa-deport. Nagkaroon na po ako ng episode dyan, I think a couple of episodes with Attorney Jake Aguilar. If you want to know more details about that, pakihanap na lang po yan. Ngayon, meron pong isang kaso dito na isa-share ko sa inyo. Isa pong PR who has been in Canada for 15 years na. No? Naku po, ito na nga. Na-convict siya ng kung ano-anong mga krimen. Okay. Ngayon, eto na, nagkaroon po siya ng removal order. I-deport na siya. Pero, hindi niya hinayaang mangyari yon. He filed an appeal sa Refugee Board. At akalain ninyo, actually, kinampihan siya ng appeals board, ng division. Okay? At hindi muna siya ipapadeport. Aba? Ngayon, nakita ko po itong storyang to, itong decision na ito on social media because as expected, marami na namang pumupuna ngayon sa social media. Siyempre, ang hinaing nila, bakit ganyan? This is a non-citizen who has committed multiple crimes in Canada. Siyempre, pasa kanila, hindi na dapat yan ipastay dito. Lalo na, hindi yan dapat, mabigyan ng citizenship in the future sakali man. Tama lang na ipa-deport yan. Bakit naman hinayaan pang magstay yan dito? Okay, yan po ang ating pag-uusapan today. And I will let you come up with your own opinions after I read to you the facts of the case. Anong palagay nyo? Sang-ayon ba kayo dito sa ginawa ng Appeals Division na? O sige, isang tabi muna yung kanyang removal order. Okay, let me put that up. Hold on. Yan. Okay. Teka. Yung ating title. Alright. This decision was published July 29, 2025. So, just this year. Okay. Decision po ito ng Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada. Puntahan na natin. Okay. Yung nag-appeal po si Mr. Kouame. Yan na lang tatawag ko sa kanya, si Mr. Kouame. Ina-appeal niya yung yung deportation order made against him by the Immigration Division noong November 2024. Okay, ang dahilan niya sa kanyang deportation order, he was convicted of several criminal offenses that carry a maximum term of imprisonment of at least 10 years. And according to the law, ang ganyang offense, kasulat na nga dito, prevents a permanent resident from residing in Canada. Okay. Si Mr. Kouame agrees naman na tama, no, may batayan yung aking removal order. However, he is seeking an appeal based on humanitarian and compassionate considerations. At yan ang pinagdesisyonan ng Appeals Board. Okay, 39 years old ngayon, itong appellant, galing po siyang Ivory Coast, and ngayon ay PR. Dumating po siya nung Canada as a skilled worker noong siya ay 24 years old. Ito ang kanyang mga na-commit na crime sometime between June 2015 and 2019. Uttering counterfeit money. Okay, peking pera. Yan, possession of counterfeit money. Use, trafficking, or possession of a forged document. Possession for the purpose of trafficking. Okay. Yun. Sige, actually may detalye nung kanyang crime, kung paano siya nahuli. Puntahan muna natin yan para makita niyo po yung mga offenses niya. Teka. Ito. Tungkol po dun sa uttering counterfeit money. Meron pong kaibigan, itong si appellant, nahuli daw po sila. Pupunta ng convenience stores and fast food restaurants, nagbabayad ng peking dollars. Nung sila po ay naaresto, he was found with $1,800 of Canadian currency. Okay? Tapos, isang beses pa, similar, okay, nahuli din muli, gumagamit ng peking pera. Okay. Oh, he was pulled over by police dahil yung kanyang license plate daw, madumi, obscured by mud. Okay? He was arrested for breach of recognizance for a previous offense and was found with counterfeit American money and fraudulent checks. Okay. Isa pa, ito naman, no, he convicted ng 1 count of possession under the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. Okay. Ang nangyari, he was pulled over for speeding. Okay. When it was discovered that he had been suspended for fines, he was arrested tapos sinearch. Ito na, nahanapan ng bundle of cash, 2 cell phones, and multiple narcotics including marijuana and cocaine. Okay. Sabi dito, using counterfeit money defrauds small store owners and trafficking drugs is a threat to public security. The appellant has multiple offenses and a long history of crime. So, combined, kaya po lalong mas naging seryoso yung penalties sa kanya. Okay? Therefore, kung siya ay mag-a-appeal at gusto niyang manatili dito sa Canada, ang sabi din dito, the appellant therefore needs some weighty, dapat matindi, ang kanyang HNC, yung humanitarian and compassionate factors, to overcome the legal impediment of his offenses. Okay. Ano palagay ninyo? Kung isang PR po mag-commit ng ganyang mga offenses, paulit-ulit pa di ba? Kumbaga, nahuli na nga siya ng isa. Aba, nagtuloy-tuloy pa, parang hindi natuto. Pag ganyan po ang isang PR, palagay niyo may karapat, dapat pa rin po ba yan manatili dito sa Canada o hindi? Sabi po ng ruling na ito ang HNC factors na kanilang i-consider. Okay? The seriousness of the offense or offenses na nag-cause ng removal, the possibility for rehabilitation, the length of time na nandito sa Canada, okay, yung pag-establish niya ng buhay niya dito, kanyang family in Canada, by the way, may mga anak no? And the impact of his removal from Canada would have on his family, the support available to the appellant not only within his family but also within his community, and the hardship that the appellant would face in the country to which he would likely be removed. Okay, kung saan siya dadalhin. Again, as sinistress po dito, these include maintaining the security of Canadian society and the best interests of any children directly affected by the appeal. Ito na ang naging batayan ng desisyon ng Appeals Board. The appellant now has the possibility of rehabilitation. Since being detained from the crime for his crime, he has shown in his actions and his undertaking potential for rehabilitation. Pwede pa naman daw magbago, no? He has been diagnosed with substance addiction as well as a mental health condition. And in Canada, he has already attended several institutions for help. Okay, including Center for Addiction and Mental Health, Addicts Anonymous, Howard Johnson Societies. Nakakumpleto pa nga daw ng isang 10-week relapse prevention program. Okay, at iba pa. Okay. The appellant, according to the decision maker, testified that he takes full responsibility for his actions. Alam daw niya kung anong kanyang pinagawa. He has internalized the factors that led to his criminal activity. Okay. And the appellant has stated he is still struggling but has evolved as a person and is working towards his goal to leave his addiction and childhood trauma behind. Remorseful naman daw siya sa kanyang mga pinagagawa. Kasi yun na. Okay, it was also noted here that the appellant has spent more time in Canada than in any other country in the world. Okay. 2010 daw siya dumating dito when he was 24, 15 years na nandito, nakagraduate na rin dito, from a university, bachelor's degree in economics and business. Employed naman daw as a trainer for HVAC salespeople. Aba may trabaho naman pala eh. Ba't siya gumagamit ng peking pera? Okay. Aware, sabi dito, the appellant stated na kahit yung kanyang amo daw, aware sa kanyang issues and has accommodated these challenges. Talaga. He also stated that in the past, he has received social assistance when business was slow. He currently lives with his long-term common law partner in the home of her mother. Okay, so nasa in-law siya nakatira. He also regularly visits and provides child support for 2 daughters who live with each of their mothers. Oh, okay. Ito naman, tungkol dun sa strong family ties. Okay. Na posible din daw kasi maapektuhan kung meron siyang mga pamilyang maiiwan dito. So, he has established that he has family in Canada. The appellant's partner, in addition to providing a support letter, testified na kung mapadeport daw ang kanyang asawa, she would be affected both emotionally and financially if the appellant was removed. Currently, the appellant gives her $350 to $500 per month to help her as an unemployed student. Yun yung para sa kanyang common law partner. Puntahan naman natin para dun sa kanyang mga anak. Ang sabi dito, okay, may 2 po siyang anak, 10 years old and 2 years old. Sabi po dito, the appellant testified to his close relationship with both of his daughters. He helps his older daughter with her homework and gives her mother $500 monthly, which contributes to his daughter's dance and soccer programs. Okay. Pati yung nanay daw nung unang anak provided the support letter which states that their daughter would be devastated if her father were not around to see and experience life together with the daughter. Similar din dun sa 2-year-old daughter. Nagko-contribute din daw ng $200 to $250 per month which covers the child's clothing, milk, and diapers. The younger daughter was born during a 2-year breakup doon sa mommy. He stated, though, that he has been active sa buhay ng kanyang anak since she was born. Okay, at sinusuportahan yung mag-ina niyan na yan. Ngayon, puntahan naman natin. Ano ang hardship daw na maaring harapin nitong appellant kung siya ay maipabalik sa Ivory Coast? 10 years old pa lang daw po kasi nung umalis siya doon. Bago mag-Canada, nagpunta ng France, Ghana, Tunisia. Okay? The appellant stated that mental health issues run in his family and previous family members who experienced mental health challenges. He stated that mental health challenges are not dealt with medically sa Ivory Coast. Instead, it is seen as a spiritual issue. Okay, so according to this decision, yung nakapirma sa baba, sabi niya, I find that there would be hardship. Mahirapan daw itong si Mr. Cuomo if bumalik siya ng Ivory Coast, na hindi naman daw siya nakatira doon for the past many years, wala siyang network of people doon, wala siyang access to mental health services. And ito pong sentence ito, sabi, this factor weighs positively in my decision making. At dahil sa mga nabanggit nating dahilan, sabi po nung decision, when I weigh all of the HNC factors together and consider the BIOC, yung BIOC, yung best interest of the children, I find that I am able to use my discretion to stay. Ibig sabihin, ipasantabi muna yung removal order. Okay? A stay of 3 years would end in 2028, which would be 10 years since the commission of the last reportable offense. And enough time daw para magpakita ng full rehabilitation. Itong defendant. Itong si Mr. Kwame. Okay. Pero po yung 3 years po na binibigay na palugit sa ngayon, meron pong mga kondisyon. Kapag i-violate po yan, pwede ulit balikan ang kanyang kaso at talagang ituloy na ang kanyang deportation. But if he complies with it, maaring ma-extend and he is able to stay here permanently if that's the case. Okay? Ano po yung mga kondisyon na yan kung kayo po ay curious? Basically, stay crime-free and obey the court. You must not commit an offense under Canadian law. Yan. You must not commit an offense outside Canada that would be considered an offense in Canada. Okay. You must avoid people you know to have criminal record. Okay. Huwag kang makahalubilo sa mga masasamang tao who are involved in crime unless they are your close family members, people you work with, or people you meet as part of your required rehab program. You must not own or possess weapons. You must respect all parole and probation continues. At ito nga yung warning, ika-cancel itong desisyon na ito. Yung appeal mo, ito terminate if ma-convict ka muli ng crime. Okay? This means your appeal will be ended and you may be removed to Canada. Removed from Canada pala. Okay, so what do you think about this, diba? Ako naman, naiintindihan ko syempre yung bakit may mga umaalma. Diba? Technically, this is a non-citizen committing these crimes in Canada. Diba? Tapos, ayun na nga may desisyon na nga It's also clear in the law that there are specific crimes that could lead to a PR getting deported. Ginawa na nga. Pero meron pa rin palang syempre yung appeal at talagang Canada, no? May ganyan talaga. This happens. Of course, ang isa po sa mga maiingay ay yung mga Conservative Party. Just recently, they filed a bill wherein, kumbaga, ang kinagagalit nga nila ay yung leniency na pinapakita sa mga non-citizens. Minsan daw, mas mabigat pa ang parusa. If a crime was to be committed, na same crime, non-citizen versus citizen, minsan mas matindi pa rin yung punishment sa mga citizens. This soundbite, this is from a couple of months ago, nung inintroduce na yung legislation sa parliament, Ito po yan.
Another non-citizen in Canada on a visitor's permit was convicted twice of groping an 18-year-old woman's genitals at a bar, yet received a discharge to avoid a permanent criminal record and to allow for an appeal of their deportation. Anyone seeking residence or citizenship in Canada has responsibilities as well as rights. When it comes to sentencing non-citizens, Canada has essentially adopted a form of two-tier justice where judges can and have given lighter sentences to individuals who are non-citizens by virtue of this ruling. This offends all principles of fairness that should be foundational to our justice system.
End it there. What do you guys think about this? Sangayon ba kayo na siya ay pinagbigyan ng appeals board para manatili dito sa Canada? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!